moving beneath the waves.
Hello, cutie gang! Gozaimasu! Buonasera, buenas tardes, здравствуйте. And I'm out of language now. We are live and alive. I'm Giran. I will be your host tonight. Welcome back to this new Quantic stream. We are actually live on Facebook, on YouTube, but please come join the fun on Twitch. We have a live chat here, so please feel free to ask us any question and stay tuned till the end because there's going to be a giveaway. So, today's show, actually, as you might have understood, is about Sea of Solitude, the director's cut, which is finally out exclusively now on Nintendo Switch. This version is packed with really, really cool new features. And to cover every little aspect and details of the game, today I have the pleasure to be surrounded by my prestigious guests. Please make some noise, even though we can't hear you. Make some noise at home. Over there, we have the fabulous, I want to say the MVP. Because she's literally the MVP, the marketing vice president, Lisa Penzi. How are you?
Thank you. Great. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm speaking way too loud. I'm cool. I'm like, right next to me, there's Benjamin Dibling, the shooting director here at Quantic Dream. He's the motion capture expert. And of course, as you might see, he's the winner of the Lifetime Mustache Achievement Award, the most beautiful facial hair in France. Benjamin Dibling, how are you doing?
I'm really good, and you?
I'm all right. I'm jealous because, you know.
Yeah, you have an amazing...
My facial hair situation,
okay.
let's not talk about.
Okay, not talk about that.
And live from Berlin with us in Germany, the wonderful Connie Geppert, co-founder of the studio Jomei, as well as director and writer of Sea of Solitude, the director's cut. Hallo, Connie, wie geht es dir?
Hallo, wunderbar.
Toll! That's the only thing I can say in German. It's great. And Amelia Rose Blair and Yves Crevachet will also join us today in a few minutes. So first, I really want to thank you, all of you, for being here today. And just, you know what, let's just jump right into it. Sea of Solitude, the director's cut. Connie, this is your baby. This is the new version. It's been developed by your own indie studio, Jomei, in collaboration with Quantic Dream this time. So the first question is going to be for you. I know it's a very personal game. So how did the project begin?
So the project, how it began. Back in 2014, I felt like unhappy in my work life, but also my private life. In my work life, I had my indie studio for about 5 years, and we were successfully developing free-to-play games, browser free-to-play games. So, but from the very beginning, at my heart, I wanted to tell deep stories, the story-driven games. That is what I wanted to make. But at the time, it was easier to find publishers with free-to-play games. Yeah. So we developed that, we loved that, we put our heart into it. You could never tell deep stories. So I became more and more unhappy, even though we made good money with it. And in early 2014, I was at the point that I thought, like, I need to risk my company. I need to do that, like risking it by writing a deep story-driven game and try to develop it. So this is how I try to solve my work life. Mm-hmm. At the same time, I met a man who I fell heavily in love with. We soon talked about marriage, and it was so wonderful, and everything was perfect. And so this happened at the same time. And after a while, it started that he started to vanish. At first, just an hour, and later on, like even 14 days. I portray that in the game also. And I got so lonely and so unhappy, and I didn't know what's going on, because always when he came back, he swore his love to me. And it was so wonderful that I didn't dare to ask why he vanished, because I didn't want to ruin the wonderful time we had again. So, but at some point when he vanished this 14 days, he opened up to me after he came back, and he said he suffers from clinical depression. So this was the point that that for the first time really heard about in detail what depression is like. I never suffered from mental health issues before. I was just so lonely. It was excruciating to wait, and that I didn't know what's going on with him. So when I started the first script of Sea of Solitude, before I met him, it was more like a Pokemon in a flooded city.
That's fun.
It's also right.
Yeah, different type of Pokemon.
It was at first because it was a transition from free-to-play games to deeply story-driven games. It was a transition. But because I wanted to help this man with the love of my life back in the days, who suffered from depression, I educated myself about mental health issues a lot. I even went to psychotherapy. And so all those pain and feelings, I needed to let out. And as an artist, what did I do? I put it into my art.
Yeah.
And this was the start of Sea of Solitude.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Now
deep.
nobody knows what
That's a
it's
really
about.
deep story.
That's really deep story, because that's where we're different. Because where I feel really lonely, I'll just buy way too many pair of shoes. You just make just some very successful video games. I should be more like you. That's why this game feels like so personal and so deep. We understand way more with what you just said, how really like personal it's connected to you. And my second question is actually for Lisa, is just how this, like from the first version, how this director's cut project happened, Lisa?
Well, Connie, thank you for sharing all of that, honestly.
Thank you so
I
much.
knew, in some capacities how the game came to be, but I will say that at Quantic Dream, we were really big fans of the game when it was released on other platforms a couple of years back. And, we felt like you could feel the story that Connie is telling in the game, right? But we could sense that there was more that could be done with it. And so I'll give all the credit to our co-CEO, Guillaume, who had an opportunity to meet Connie, I believe, at Gamescom a few years back. And maybe, Connie, you can tell that story, because I actually wasn't there. I wish I was, but...
Yeah, so I didn't inform you guys what the game is about, but maybe later. I met Guillaume back at the Gamescom 2019, and we were just living in the sun and talking and chatting, and I told him what big fans we at Yomai are from Quantic Dream. I remember Fahrenheit blew me away back in the days. And then game by game by game, like Heavy Rain, oh my God, Detroit. So I was a fan, okay? I was a fan.
Just say it.
But so the surprise came when he answered like, Connie, just so you know, like many people at Quantic Dream love Sea of Solitude. Like, and I thought at first, oh, maybe he is just being nice, but we exchanged emails and it was very nice. But then he wrote us sometime later and asked us, why didn't you brought Sea of Solitude to Switch? And we didn't consider that back at the days where we had like our consoles and PC. And he said like, guys, I know we talked about it, and I told him back at Gamescom that I was happy with Sea of Solitude, but if I could, I would love to make it even better. We needed to learn so much with Sea of Solitude, the original version. As I told you, like from free-to-play browser games to such a big title, it was a lot of learning. So he told me, well, we want you to have Sea of Solitude on Switch, but we would love to have a list of everything you ever dreamed of, how you could make Sea of Solitude better. And this is what we want to publish, and this is where we want to help you. I was screaming for a week in joy. Like really, it's still like really a dream, like a dream.
It seemed like really meant to be. Just like fans, you're a fan, he's a fan, everybody's a fan, and then he asks you like, do whatever you dream. That's like seemed like it was meant to be.
And Gian, I also think it's really a unique opportunity that both Yomai and we at Quantic Dream had to take an existing story and just plus it up so much more, you know, and really make sure that the game was telling the story that Connie wanted it to tell. Which is why we decided to call it the director's cut. Because maybe a little bit later we can talk about what exactly is different from this version. It could have been really easy, you know, for us and especially for Connie's team to just do a port, you know, a straight port onto the Switch. Like you change, obviously there's a lot more that goes into it than just putting it on the Switch. But we could have done, you know, something like that. But instead we really took the time with Connie's team, with Ben's team, and all of the teams at Quantic Dream to really dig in, take every piece of feedback that we saw from the fans, right, Connie, from the critics, and found a way to make the game really what it was meant to be.
Yeah, and I feel like the like Connie's universe and just like way of telling stories is also really a great match with the way of Quantic Dream, like this love for storytelling, story-driven games. And actually, Ben, I've got this question, as meant to be as it seems. This is the first time Quantic Dream is actually publishing a third-party game. So what is the difference for you as a shooting director between a third-party project and a Quantic Dream game? Is there a difference?
Yeah, so I can say a short version of this answer is that was exactly the same.
Okay, thank you.
but to make a longer answer, that was exactly the same because I used to work with David Cage in game director. So I proposed him casting, I proposed him scene, I proposed him as a way to direct the game. And he said, yes, Ben, no, Ben, that's a good idea, like this kind of thing. So when I played the first version of the game, David asked me, okay, what do you think about that? What you want to change? And I start to make some proposition. And he said, okay, no, talk with Connie. So we start to talk with Connie, and I propose a new casting and some new stuff, and we start to work together. And she's come in Paris. We start to direct together and some voice acting, and yeah, that was the start of the adventure. But that was really close, to be honest. I used to work in a stage, and this time I was working in only with voice acting. But it was cool. It was kind of the same.
Like nice joint venture, not just trying to bring a third party, just like making like two things become one, and that's well, it's beautiful. I've got so many other questions. I just actually take a few minutes to tell you that actually, please feel free to ask every question you want. We'll try to actually pick some good questions from the chat. So this game, as you can see, is called Sea of Solitude. As you said, the director's cut. So maybe for you, Connie, or for you, Lisa, director's cut means that actually new features. So what exactly does this Switch version bring to the table? Because as you can see, you don't just take this and say, put it in a Switch. That's not how it works. So what exactly?
Really life would be
what is new?
Boring,
what is new?
What
Maybe you want to start?
Sure. So there's a number of really new, interesting features that I know Connie and Ben can both elaborate on, but maybe I'll just give the quick rundown, Connie, if that's cool for you.
Go. do everything.
You don't want her to
I'm nervous.
I think she can do that. I'm just here to chill.
So we started really by helping Connie with the script. Okay. Now, the story, as you know, is really nuanced. It's very layered. There's a lot of depth to it. And in fact, what they were able to do with the script was really refine it so that every word has a weight to it and an importance to it. And it's one of the ways that we really make sure that the game, again, immerses the player and really speaks to the story that we're trying to tell. So in order to facilitate that script, as Ben just said, we also did a brand new voice casting for the entire game. And now what's excellent about this is that the game is now available in multiple languages.
Okay.
So for someone like me who is working on her français, I'm going to play.
Your French is great.
Merci. C'est pas vrai. I can play the game in French. It's also available in German. It's available in Japanese, Spanish, and of course in English. So that's a really big benefit, in addition to the storytelling, which I know Ben can speak more to, working with the professional actors.
And something to mention is because we used to work in English and French here, we do ourselves a French version. So that was cool for me because I direct the American version, the English version, and right after I do the casting of the French version and I do the French directing just after. So that was cool for me because I direct 2 times this game.
Amazing.
Yeah. So,
what's it like to be bilingual?
yeah.
Let's not name names.
Yeah.
But it was really, really cool to have this process, and it was really cool to work on the casting and make new proposition to Connie.
And actually, before passing the ball to you, Connie, I would just want to tell you that actually we have some great behind-the-scenes footage, just like some great video that are going to be available soon, and we're going to talk about it a bit further later. There's going to be available on YouTube, behind the scenes, all like, you know, some like secret footage backstage, the work, how, the process. You're going to see a lot. And so, Connie, what was new for you? Like, how was it to work with a new studio and not just like with your indie, your May?
Yes, I would love to say something more about the script. Is that okay? Can I? So the most interesting thing with Quantic Dream that we never had before is like having such a deeply artistic studio that we work with. Like David Cage, like Ben, like everyone there, they are artists too. So they know, they have a feeling for certain things. So when we started to talk about what we would love to change, they had the same feeling. And when they suggested things, we had the same feeling. It was extremely great. With the cutscenes, it was so interesting when David Cage told me stuff like, Connie, like close-ups are so important for the immersion, like really feeling the player. We never, I don't know why we didn't consider it beforehand, but when he suggested some stuff, it was like, oh wow, yes, that is so true. And regarding the script, from the beginning on, from the early beginning when I developed Sea of Solitude, I wanted to have like as few talking as possible in the game, but as much as necessary. And because we had been a little afraid that maybe people didn't get our metaphorical stories, we put a lot of talking in it, in the original version. So when we got the chance now to redo it and make it even more artful, my co-founder Boris and me at first sat together and we cut the whole script down, like everything that is not necessary. When Kay is describing the environment, what the player is also seeing, you don't need to do that. So we cut so much stuff. And then we got a friend of mine who worked also on What Remains of Edith Finch, Stephen Bell, who is a writer. And he's a senior writer. And we set him on the script and said, like, refine it, redo it. And Sea of Solitude was my first writing. So it, of course,
Wow. Good first writing, to be honest.
It's an okay start. but you could feel it when you're a professional writer, and also like players, you could feel it was maybe a little clunky. It could be better. So now seeing it with a professional writing, I could write. I could cry in between because it's such a difference. And when Casey, the new voice actor of Kenny, it is such a difference. Wow, to have a professional voice actor. Like before it was our animator, our lead animator. She was great. She was great, but she never did it before.
Yeah, of course.
And so, yes, this is what I wanted to say. It was like honestly, like a dream. In between, I thought maybe I should pay Quantic, that I could look into their how they work, and how Ben was looking Ben over the shoulder, how he is directing and the voice actors, and it was just amazing to learn and see. This was how it felt for me to work with Quantic Dream.
Okay,
that's so great.
That's nice. And for you, Ben, so Connie mentioned the new voice cast. So what actually was your initial vision of the game, and what did you wanted to bring with the new cast?
The first thing, I play 2 times the first version of the game because I want to understand really what was the initial deep vision of Connie.
It's something that is so personal and just like really understand.
Not talk with her. I think the best way to understand that is to play what she did. And right away, my first proposition of David was, I want really, really real directing, like close up, like in cinema, but in terms of voice, I want something real and like something casual. So it was really a word I used to say to Connie. I don't want something with too much emotion. In real life, you have a casual voice. Yeah. So I was looking for an actor, an actress who can do casual voice.
Like a more natural.
Yeah, more
natural.
Over dramatic.
No acting, no projecting too much, but more.
Absolutely. Like
feeling.
Because in the story, I want to believe in the story right away. And the best way to that is something like natural and casual. And with that, because you have an art direction, a little bit cartoon, I think you have all the layer between the cartoon and the real, and the reality. So that was my first proposition, and of course, and with David, we was on the same page. So we make a proposition of casting to Connie, and Connie was like, "Oh yeah, well, actually, let's go."
Actually, according to her facial expression, just before she was like, "Oh."
And to be honest, the funny thing is, I sent tape of the cast to Connie, and I was like, okay, but because we was never meet each other in real life, only on call, video call, I was not sure she was like really like. She was like saying yes, but I wasn't. And the first day of shooting, we go lunch after, and Connie told me, I love what we did this morning. And I was like, okay, we can continue.
Exactly like this. It was amazing.
Yeah. So we can actually like see that it was like a great encounter between like 2 very personal and artistic vision of how to make video games between David Cage, Guillaume, and Connie, obviously. And so what else does Quantic Dream bring to an independent developer such as Yomei? Lisa?
Oh, well, a lot of things. I mean, obviously the entire team that worked on all of the animatics, the motion design, the audio, the casting, the direction, the script, everything. We help with everything. And another area that I have to talk about, because it's my team, is the publishing. So for those of you who maybe don't know, when we talk about publishing, yes, we're talking about basically all of the things that the gamers see. The audience, what the audience sees, all the audience facing, we would say. So that's the marketing, that's the public relations, that's the business development, that's getting the game boxes into stores. All of that work and negotiation happens through our Quantic Dream publishing team. And we love working on these types of games, and we really become an extension of the team. Like, we've really felt like we are a part of Yomei when working on this game. We take it on like it's our own. It's been such a fun experience, and working on the trailers. Connie picked the music for the trailer that you saw in the beginning of the.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, it was so good. And like really bring the vision of Connie and her team to the market is really what we focused on doing, and it was a blast.
So, one little last question before we are joined by our new guest, and I just want to repeat myself a little bit. Please feel free to ask any question if you feel like I haven't asked enough, because basically it might have happened. But, you know, like if you have a better question, just feel free to ask everything in the chat. We'll make sure to answer to that a bit later. But before that, I want to have like a little bit of, you know, like a little bit of exclusive. I want secrets. So every game production, I'm sure, with such a personal and such a great venture, I'm sure it has like quirky secrets. Is there anything anyone would like to share today? Like someone no one knows?
Oh, I have a funny story.
And you know what? It's just between. Oh, you have one.
Yeah.
I don't even have to sell myself. You have one.
Of course.
He keeps all of his secrets in his beard.
Yeah.
Take one out of it.
And of course, if you want to know the secret of the mustache, chat and everything,
I have a funny
and you'll
story
never know.
about that too.
So one
just after to direct the English and after the French version, we was thinking about how we make the monster of Sea of Solitude. And I was talking with the sound designer, and I was like, you know what? Let's go in the room. I take the mic and I start to make some sound of monster. And I was like, and hello, and this kind of voice, and just trying, just because sometimes it's too hard to explain. Just do it. And we start with the sound team. We was laughing so much, and we start to do this kind of funny thing, just to have a mood. You know, a mood board and mood audio. So that was pretty funny to do it.
Yeah, that's quite cool. You sound a bit like me in the morning.
Yeah.
That's a bit like me. So, anyone else? A little bit of secret? Do you have something you'd like to share? Secret about Sea of Solitude? Your director's cut?
Well, one thing is, because I was nervous, I forgot to tell the people what Sea of Solitude is actually about. Just to, I don't know if it's too late. If it's too late to talk about what Sea of Solitude is about. Now we have a flow, but I could tell the story about Sea of Solitude a bit. Or is that now too late?
Please. Of course, it's the director's cut. It's your call.
So Sea of Solitude is actually about loneliness and different types of loneliness. And especially like in the last year and this year, like so many more people contacted me and asked me, wow, what a coincidence that we started this scene before the pandemic hit. And so I just want to shortly tell you about what Sea of Solitude is. It's about a young woman named Kay who suffers from such strong loneliness that her inner feeling turns to the outside. The anger, the hopelessness, feeling of worthlessness and loneliness. And she turns into a monster. And the game is about finding out why this happened to her and how to turn her back into a human being. This is the core of the game. And I wanted to share the secret because I forgot to tell you about that at the beginning. This is a very, very strong story.
Very introspective.
Yes.
This is a very introspective, it's like a dialogue with yourself type of like an initiatic type of quest.
Yes.
We have a question also from the community. Please excuse me if I say your pseudonym wrong. The name is Fiamma Price. Maybe it's your name, or maybe not, but I'm trying to say it right. Question for you, Connie. Does this game, which is about loneliness and introspection, does this game talk also about ecology?
Equality?
Ecology.
The what?
Ecology. Environment.
Ökologie in German.
All that.
This is one topic we didn't handle. Even it maybe looks like this, but it's all metaphorical and about the emotions of persons. So, no, I'm sorry.
I mean, the sea in Sea of Solitude is an internal metaphor, as Connie is saying, so it's...
You know, it's funny, it's the first time I play, I don't think I mentioned, I think we talk about that with Connie, it's my favorite book is Alice in Wonderland. And of course, the first time I play Sea of Solitude, I see some comparison to Alice in Wonderland. And I was like, it's a metaphoric journey to learn yourself and start your first step in the adult world. And I see that in Sea of Solitude. Maybe, I don't think it's a direct inspiration, but I see some echo on that.
Yeah. So, thank you for sharing this. So, this might not be about Ökologie, as we say in German, apparently, but it is actually time for us to welcome also 2 new guests to join the fun from across the world, live from Los Angeles, California, our favorite video game actress and streamer, Amelia Rose Blair. Hello, good morning, Amelia.
Hello.
Good morning, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And we also have Eve Crevachet. She's also live from the West Coast, Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. You're the head of Take This, a non-profit organization dedicated to mental health in the gaming world. Am I correct?
You are correct. Hello,
Good.
nice to be here.
Len, really nice to meet you. So I think, sorry? I think that someone is trying to talk to me off camera, but actually, he doesn't know that he can talk to me into the earplug. So,
How the sausage is made.
this is the future. So, Amelia, I'm looking at you. Did you play this director's cut already? What do you think of it?
I have not played it yet, but we're going to begin our first playthrough tomorrow on our Twitch stream with my husband, Brian Deckart. And we're very, very excited to begin playing Sea of Solitude, the director's cut.
Yeah, and as a streamer and creator, what do you think about this type of game? Very personal.
I think that it's a really important type of game. The subject matter of loneliness and confronting your own demons is something that I know I relate to, and I'm sure that a lot of other people relate to as well. So I think it's a very important topic, and I think that I'm grateful that you've made this game so that we can all, have these conversations, because sometimes it's hard to talk about the dark parts of yourself, and when you have a game that's leading you through, it makes it easier to talk about.
Yes, and actually, you're right. That's actually very well said. So, and actually, you actually speak so well. I decided I'm gonna give you the keys of this Quantic stream. Please knock yourself out. You're the boss. You're the boss now. You can actually feel free to talk with Eve, with us actually listening carefully.
Well,
Hi,
Amelia.
Thank you. Hi, Eve. Thank you so much for joining. So, Eve, would you tell us a little bit about Take This for people who might not know what that is?
Absolutely. Yes. So, as we discussed, it's a mental health nonprofit organization that serves the game industry and the game community. And so we talk about and advocate for mental health literacy, understanding that issue. We talk about and advocate for scientifically based information about the benefits and challenges related to playing games and one's mental health. And we also work inside the game industry to support the people who make games so that their experience and their training and their resources are top-notch. And we every few years we release an award, the Dr. Mark Award, and it is an award for the portrayal of mental health in games. And Sea of Solitude the original was a finalist last year, and so we're just really delighted to be able to be part of this launch.
Very cool. Which leads me to my next question. How did you get involved in Sea of Solitude? How did you meet Connie?
Connie and I met just as I started at Take This almost 3 years ago.
Wow.
And she was just releasing or announcing the original version of the game. And we were really excited because of the way it talked about mental health challenges and the way that it described loneliness, which is when we talk about mental health and what people need to feel safe and resilient and ready to tackle the challenges in their life, loneliness is a major risk factor, right? So we just thought this was a really powerful portrayal, and so we've been in touch with Connie and delighted by her wonderful presence, and really excited to see where it would go with this partnership with Quantic Dream. And I'm really excited to play the game too, and I have not yet had a chance to play the new version.
Yes, I'm excited too. So Connie, with this new director's cut, what are the changes, or how has the story evolved from its original version? How has the message evolved for you?
I just want to mention regarding Take This. I met Eve about 3 years ago, but I already follow and like Take This since 2014. I started getting to Take This out because I was volunteering at the 2014 PAX in Seattle for Take This.
Wow.
This at their booth. So this is how I got to know Take This back in the day. So long. So I'm so happy that finally we work together. You asked me about the differences about Sea of Solitude original and or do you ask me if
how the message has evolved?
Yeah. So what we figured out is, like, when I look back now at the original version, that it was much more, because I was in the mood back in the days, a little bit more blaming, or a little bit more focused on the bad things, which of course the game is about, but in a not perfect way. We wanted to transport it much more focused on the positive outcome, and focusing on how you can overcome this and how you can to solve it. I just talked with some other people who played it, and they can really see the difference. That they say, oh wow, the characters are also much more around, and everything is, you can see the professional, like the senior writer that went over it. So this is like the main focus, that to make it more on point about the stories, what we wanted to convey, and to even add it a little bit more focus on the positive outcome, but not like cutting from the bad, but just in a good way, talking about the negative parts.
Well, Connie, hope is such an important emotion, hope. And that's, right, the sense that there is an opportunity to get better. And that is really exciting to hear as I go into the new game, because and that I know we haven't talked about it yet, but some of the promotional stuff we're doing around this launch, we talk about hope a lot, and opportunity and resilience. So I'm just super excited.
Cool.
I'm excited too. I think that the journey through and how to overcome all of these monsters is really important, because we all know these monsters, they live within us. They have different shapes and names, but they all are within us. But there has to be a way through that, a way to find light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm very excited to play that. Connie, I'm curious, because you talked a little bit about how the story was inspired for you. Did you know in the very beginning that you wanted to make a story about loneliness, or did the topic reveal itself to you as you started to work on the plot for Sea of Solitude?
Yeah, as I mentioned also beforehand, like that, at the very beginning, my focus was really shallow. I wanted to change our company and finally make the games that we always wanted to make, that we wanted to make deeply story-driven console games. And because we made free-to-play games beforehand, the jump from browser free-to-play commercial games to deeply story-driven was a kind of hard. So at first, because I'm a fisherman's daughter. I'm born on the coast, and I love water. And hello Mutti und Vati, hello Mama and Papa, they watching from the coast. I love water, and my chosen hometown is Berlin. So I thought, oh, I make a game with a flooded Berlin, and I love monsters, underwater monsters. So let's make like a Pokemon-like a game with monsters in Planet City. I'm honest now. I'm honest. And that was the first concept. But because my emotional state, I felt more and more lonely. Like because of the relationship where I was abandoned so often, and because of the work state, I started to like feel, okay, these monsters, they feel like monsters of loneliness. I feel like I could see emotions into those monsters. And then I saw that, oh my God, the water, it feels like my tears that are running down into Berlin and it's flooding Berlin. It was like, because of the emotions and feelings I had, it started to, what I at first in a shallow way concepted, what felt with meaning. And then I started talking to friends and family, and they opened up and told me, like, oh my God, yes, I felt like a monster too back in the days when I was bullied, and I felt like I'm the problem, and I didn't know how to get out of it. And so step by step, all my friends, family, co-worker contributed to everything. And this is how those deep, meaningful story at the end came to be with Sea of Solitude. It was a long, natural process of my life, my emotion at the time. And this is what it made it deep and meaningful. And now we found a way. Now I know I always want to tell stories of emotions that I feel, nothing far away, but things that I feel and I want to express. And this I want to do forever now, if I can.
Connie, we've talked about this in other situations, Connie, but that vulnerability and that openness and that, that desire to share what's really real and what's part of your own inner landscape, it's so courageous and beautiful. And I think that's what makes good art, right? That's what is at the center of this, and what makes it so compelling is that when we share real things, people respond to that, because that honesty and that vulnerability makes us feel like we're not alone, right?
And it makes it feel real.
We're not in this alone. Yeah.
This
That's so powerful.
Yes, this is a surprising thing, just to add that I was always like this, and I had quite of issues back in the days when I was younger with being so open, and some people call it naive. I call it like, I'm just being myself. Like I love talking about emotions, and it's so great. And I heard that from a lot of artists that they had issues because they were so vulnerable and open and naive, and And now it's so cool that I found the place where it belongs to, being so open, like sharing my stories, and other people can connect. Like you said, it's just amazing to find the place where you belong to. Yeah,
it's so inspiring. Eve, I have a question for you now. What do you think makes Sea of Solitude so special and unique as a video game?
I mean, I think it's what I just described, that the realness of the story and the vulnerability of it that allows people to understand, see their own experience reflected, and know that it comes from a place of this word is overused, but authenticity, right? That we know that this is something that it comes from real experience. And we've seen that in a number of other games that represent mental health issues and mental health challenges, is that when it comes from real experience, it's more powerful than anything else. And then you layer on the immersive artistic experience, and it's really wonderful. But we need to see ourselves reflected in art, and to know that it comes from a place of real, deep, considered, reflection, and that's what we see here, and that's what's so exciting.
Well said.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Absolutely.
So,
I have a question now for Ben and Lisa. I'm very excited that Quantic is going to be publishing all of these new games, and I'm curious for the games in the future that you're looking to publish. Are you looking for things that have the same type of awareness, this deeper stories about our emotions, and what are you looking for?
I think we're looking for experience, not one type of game. We're looking for experience and to expand the Quantic Dream universe. So we just want some proposition of experience and deep story, just to have something to say after you play the game.
Yeah, and we all, we work as a really close team here at Quantic Dream, and when we evaluate games, like I said, we were already fans of Sea of Solitude, so we had the opportunity to weigh in when it was on the table to be published, and we were like, yeah, we really believe in this. We feel like there's so much that we can do with this, and it's true for any other game that we will be lucky enough to get to work on in the future. So it's a great experience.
Absolutely. That was cool. That was the first time we worked together. Yeah, that was cool.
Look at that. Beautiful. Bonding, life. Those are real emotions. Yeah, so Emilia, thank you so much. You had a question for Ben and Lisa. Do you have a question for me? No? That's all right. And that's okay. Let's move on. That's okay. Thank you so much, Emilia.
Thank you, Amelia.
Of course,
That was so cool. That was so cool.
Thank you, everyone.
And so, actually, there's something new we need to talk about, because Sea of Solitude, the director's cut, doesn't come alone. Because even though it deals with loneliness, it doesn't come alone. We've actually conceived like an exclusive Twitch extension called Bottle of Hope that is actually going to be available very, very soon. Lisa, you're the one who actually knows everything. Can you actually tell us about this new extension?
With pleasure. So yes, we have created, so to take a step back, look, video games, gaming can be a solitary experience. And sometimes you want it to be, right? And that's great.
Definitely.
But as we've been talking with Eve, Amelia, and Connie about Sea of Solitude as a game where you explore that kind of loneliness, I think that it raises an opportunity to have a lot of discussion. Exactly what Connie was saying as she was developing the story. People came out of the woodwork in her life and said, I relate to this, I know what you're saying. So we wanted to find a way to bring that to the player. So it's a solo experience, right? When you play Sea of Solitude on your Switch, you're playing it alone. But what we wanted to do and what we did was we created a Twitch extension that allows streamers to engage with their chats in a special way. And the concept is pretty simple, Jan. So as good vibes are shared in the chat, there's like a little gauge, a little ticker of hope that fills. And when it hits max, the extension will pick some people in the chat at random to send private messages of empowerment, life-affirming messages. And these messages are ones that we wrote in partnership with Connie and Eve to make sure that they were relevant, that they weren't like, Eve taught me the phrase toxic positivity. We didn't want any of that. It's just a way to spread good vibes and hope online, on Twitch.
And then the bottle of hope, we can say, is pouring out kindness.
There you go.
I just made
nice.
it up.
Exactly good.
You should work in marketing.
It's gonna be available very soon.
Yeah.
And actually, I really want to see what it looks like. So actually, let's have a look. Don't you feel Do I feel better now?
I think that's really cool.
No, but it's really cool. It's really nice. And actually, Eve and Connie, you've worked with the Quantic Dream publishing team, as Lisa said, on this extension. So what did you actually like about this bottle of hope? Eve, maybe?
Sure. Yeah. So all of the themes are related to what we call in mental health speak resilience. All the things that like fill you up to help you be ready to battle what you need to battle, like, you know, to be the best version of yourself. And so they talk about mindfulness and self-esteem and all of the wonderful things that help us get through our days and get through our challenges. Because we didn't ever want to imply that you don't have challenge. Like life is complicated, and we don't want to pretend that it isn't. But we really want to give people that sense of hope and that sense of knowing that there are tools and approaches that do work, things that we can do. And it's really simple. It's really, really just, you know, simple, short one-liners. But we had quite a lot of fun in the Take This team putting all of that together and finding some quotes and reviewing the great French quotes that Quantic Dream had to bring to the table, the great French authors and things. So that was how we did it, and that's what the intention of it is.
That's nice. Yeah. Connie, can you share what you liked about the bottle of hope?
Yeah, so Sea of Solitude itself isn't an educational game. I can't do that. I just told a story of life, what happened to me, what happened to others, and so it was experience, like Ben mentioned what games they want to have. Mm-hmm. So when we did the bottled messages, the bottles of hopes, it was like extremely interesting and exciting for me. But at the same time, I was a little bit reluctant and had feared that I would write something that maybe wouldn't be on point because I'm not a professional. So it was so perfect that Takes It had been on board. That professional to know it was so interesting, Eve, when you mentioned about this positive toxicity.
Yeah. Toxic positivity.
But it was quite encapsulated in the blur. I think it was quite the perfect noise.
Positivity that you need to take care. You can be also try to be positive, but drag other people down, overwhelm them. And so I was so thankful. This idea was so great what Quantic Dream came up with. And combined with Takes This professional knowledge, it's just amazing what they did. And I just added some little things, but mainly I was just astonished what they did together.
That's great. I love the idea of just be nice, just something. Sometimes you know, and actually, if you can actually ask us some question in the live chat. But if you want to say just something nice, like how nice the mustache. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna stop talking about your mustache.
Some credit at the end of
But it's so beautiful. So Amelia. Your community is known for being one of the kindest communities online, and you've actually even won the Best Community Award last month from the Game Hers, celebrating women in gaming. So first, so wow, this is a really nice award. I'm jealous.
I'm blushing.
That's like, you know, kudos to you. And how do you think this great community will react to the Bottle of Hope?
I think the Bottle of Hope extension is absolutely perfect for Twitch and for our community because they are so incredibly loving and supportive. And what has always inspired me about them, all of you, I see you all here, is how much you lift each other up. And so playing through this game that I know is going to take us on an emotional journey together, to have this gauge in the corner of positivity that will start to fill as everyone in the chat just floods the space with love is so perfect. It's the perfect foil to the darkness of the story and our journey through. And I love the idea of these bottles of hope that are going to send messages to people randomly to help give them an extra boost. So I think it's a wonderful idea, and I'm so glad that you came up with this extension. And I'm excited to use it with all of you.
Yeah, it's going to be available very, very soon. And actually, speaking of this extension bottle of hope, Lisa, Ben, you two, you have an announcement to make, something really, really nice.
Yeah, just, we're really fortunate, I think, and really happy to be able to make a $5,000 donation to the Take This organization on behalf of Yomai and Quantic Dream in order to support all of the amazing resources that they put out there. Yes. Thank you so much, Eve, and to your whole team for doing this, because it's so necessary. It's so necessary today, it was necessary yesterday, and it will be necessary tomorrow. So if anyone watching wants to see some resources, and they are international, so you don't have to just be based in the US to take advantage of what they have, you can visit takethis.org, right, Eve? If you guys want to make a donation, you can feel free, but we just wanted to give that little small gesture of goodwill on behalf of Sea of Solitude. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's have a round of applause for ourselves a little bit. See, that's the bottle of hope spirit. Just a bit of kindness, a little bit. You know what I mean? So, and actually, speaking of donation, please buckle up, because we are actually doing the giveaway right now. Right now. So please focus a little bit. Here are the rules. They are really simple. I'm just going to give you a keyword in that you're going to have to actually write in the chat on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you can do it, but you're not going to be playing. You have to go on the Twitch chat. So we are going to actually pick 10 people randomly to win some really good gift. The first 3 winners are going to get a copy of Sea of Solitude, the director's cut, signed, not by me because it wouldn't worth anything. It's going to be signed by the great Connie Geppert. Yeah. And you are, wow. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. I want it. Oh. Can I play? Can I play the game? Yeah. Can I play my game? And along with this game, you're going to have like this wonderful pack of Sea of Solitude Snickers. Snickers? Oh, no, sneakers.
Not a snack. Don't eat
I said sneakers. That's absolutely not what I was supposed to say. That's absolutely not what I was. That's stickers. Sorry.
There you go.
Stickers. And so I said 10 winners. So the next 7 winners are going to get also this pack of stickers that I need to show on the right side. I'm really good at my job.
Yeah,
I'm really good at my job right now. So good. You're doing your job well. Oh, thank you. Thank you. No. Thank you. So the word that you have to write are actually 2 words. And this is really, really easy. You just have to write "take this" in the chat on Twitch, and it starts now. And so while the chat is actually hopefully going crazy to win all those things, let's take a moment to answer some questions from the community. Do we have any questions? Oh, someone is going to bring me something really great. Which wow.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
See?
You don't see what's happened, but we just see a phone flying.
Yeah. This is France, baby. That's the French way, baby.
Incredible.
Okay, so Connie.
Yeah.
We have. I'm gonna just like pick the first question. That's someone who says, "I see this game as very symbolic and modern. A monster that travels in the Sea of Solitude. Can it somehow symbolize the world we live in that seems empty and hostile to us? We see monsters, and we are monsters too." That's not a question. That's very deep. But do you agree with that?
So yeah, well, it's actually at the end, it's in your head. So it's the world isn't like really filled with monsters. Well, we could discuss that, but but you're so right. Like it's at the end, it's a metaphor. How the specific person sees the world, and everybody sees the world different. So yeah, in this case, it's totally right. Like in between, the world feels really like full of monsters.
And that's actually what is beautiful with very, very personal work, is that actually when the public actually receives it, it actually also can, after that, makes it like his own interpretation. And if you feel like in your head that's like a representation of the world, and that's you're not wrong. Like there's no wrong answers, I think. Second question for you, Connie, from Sukfunger, I can't say the name. It's really impossible. There's too many X's. May I ask what the animals represent in the trailer? Like what role they play to help the main character? And this is a very, very big spoiler, by the way.
Play the game, right?
Great answer. No spoilers. No spoiler zone.
I'm glad the trailer made you.
No
wonder,
spoiler.
That's the point.
They have a meaning. They are deeply meaningful for the story. Like you have to play it to see it for yourself, what's going on and what they are.
And that's actually, that's great. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's actually perfect. You have to play it, and you know when Sea of Solitude the director's cut is available. When is it?
Right
now. So you can actually play it whenever from now. Or you can actually play it whenever you want. Just a quick question to off-camera people. When are we saying who won? Are we picking up? All right. I made a mistake again. So thank you again, everyone who joined us here today. We will actually message the winners of the giveaway as soon as this Quantic stream is over. So I'm going to wrap it up rapidly, so you'll know. Quick reminder, once again, Sea of Solitude Director's Cut now available on Nintendo Switch, physical and digital versions. We also have tons of exclusive video content and behind-the-scenes series coming on YouTube. So please hit that subscribe button. Amelia, you will be live streaming the game on your Twitch page on Friday, the 12th. Is that? Am I right?
Yes, we are starting streaming Sea of Solitude Director's Cut tomorrow on twitch.tv/JackArtGames, starting 2 hours later than whatever time it is for you right now.
Okay.
And we're very excited because the following Friday, both Connie and Eve are going to be joining us as special guests. So
beautiful! So Friday, just like mark your calendars, your agendas, or whatever. Just like Friday the 12th, you, Amelia, Eve, and Connie are going to be playing Sea of Solitude, the director's cut live on Twitch as well, also like and tomorrow too. And of course, you'll be showcasing the Bottle of Hope Twitch extension that will be available at this moment.
It'll be available soon, and you can stay tuned to my seaofsolitude.com.
Yes, and
like
that was great. Great wing, best wing, best mustache, best wing game, best wing game. The winking is high. And oh, by the way, if you want the Bottle of Hope extension, you just have to download it. And as you said, and how much is it?
It's free.
That's nice. That's nice. And one last reminder, please, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and our official website, quanticdream.com. If you haven't already, you may also want to subscribe to this Twitch channel. Click, if you like to click buttons, you're in for a treat because you can click everything. Click on the bell for notifications so you won't miss a video. And please, one last word. Like that was a great night. One last word for everyone. Maybe we'll start with Eve.
I'm so excited about this, and I'm really honored that you brought us in, that Connie connected us to Quantic Dream, and that this has been such an exciting and positive partnership. So thank you, and congratulations to both Connie and to Quantic Dream on this launch.
Thank you so much, Eve. Thank you. Amelia?
We are very excited to begin our playthrough of Sea of Solitude Director's Cut. I think it's going to be a very impactful story and journey to go on. So we'll see you on twitch.tv/JackArtGames starting tomorrow for Sea of Solitude.
See you. Look, she's good. She's good. Connie, Lisa.
Yes.
Lisa, do you have a
Yes.
last word?
I just want to say to all of the players out there, I hope you love it. Whether you played Sea of Solitude already when it was released on other consoles, or if you want to grab it on your preferred console, which if you're like me, it's the Switch. I hope you love it and that you really get something out of it because I know I have.
Yeah, that's nice. Ben?
Just enjoy your life.
Okay.
Be happy and share love and just that.
And you feel sad, just snap out of it.
No.
Toxic positivity.
And that's it. That's it.
No,
That's it.
you don't just snap out of
And
it.
next time, Mustache Secret, live on Twitch. Connie, please, that was so great to have you. Do you have a last message for the community?
I just wanted to say, like, I'm forever thankful to Quantic Dream that they offered us this opportunity to really bring Sea of Solitude to a state that I am so fully happy with it. And that Pixis is helping to, like, really bring it out in a proper way. And I'm just totally happy. Amelia, thank you so much. We have now the future together, like, chatting the next day. So thank you, everyone, so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
This game.
Thank you for creating this great story, this great game. Thank all of you, just like for your presence tonight. That was so fun. That was so, thank you. And of course, thanks again, all of you, the Cutie Gang from everywhere in the world for joining us today, tonight, or whatever the time is where you're at. See you very, very soon for some more cutie stories. And until next time, please enjoy Sea of Solitude, the director's cut on Nintendo Switch, available now. And please be happy and stay safe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
That was really cool.
Bye.